This is a SnapEd New York video presentation.
Hi everyone, my name is Brittany and I'm a nutrition educator with the SNAP Education and Obesity Prevention Program through Cornell Cooperative Extension. My role is to show people how to eat healthy while on a budget, how to make shopping for fruits and vegetables easier, and how to make healthier meals. Today I'll be making a zucchini and tomato bake. Both zucchini and tomatoes are in season here in New York, which makes it such a great summer recipe. We want to try and vary our veggies. Different vegetables have different vitamins and minerals, and eating a variety of vegetables can help lower our risk for different diseases. Before we get started, let's talk about what makes a meal a healthy meal. This is my plate. My plate is a visual to show you what a healthy meal or plate should look like. It has 5 food groups: fruits, vegetables, grains, protein, and dairy. And you want to try and aim to get all 5 food groups in at each meal. So if you include today's recipe in your next meal, you will have had a vegetable from our zucchini, our onion, and our tomato, and then a dairy from our Parmesan cheese. So to make the rest of your meal a My Plate meal, be sure to include a fruit, like maybe some strawberries, a grain, like maybe some brown rice, and a protein, maybe some chicken, to make that meal a My Plate meal. You may have noticed on our My Plate that half of our plate should be fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables are full of vitamins, minerals, and fiber. So eating a variety of fruits and vegetables can help lower our risk for different diseases, like heart disease, diabetes, and even some types of cancer. When it comes to our vegetables, adults need around 2.5 to 3 cups of vegetables each day. However, this does vary based on your age and your gender. So let's talk about the vegetables that we're going to be using in today's recipe.
Zucchini is a part of the summer squash family, along with yellow squash. Summer squash is available year-round, but is in season and least expensive during the months of July and August. They are full of vitamin C, vitamin A, and fiber. When picking out the perfect zucchini for your recipe, look for one that is firm, with a bright and glossy skin. And I know it may be tempting, but try to avoid the very large zucchini. These will actually have less flavor and be tougher than the smaller squash. If you don't have zucchini, but you have yellow squash, feel free to use that in its place. Or if you want, include both and add an extra pop of color. There are many types of onion: yellow, red, white, and even green onions. However, today we're going to be using a yellow onion. Yellow onions usually cost the least and are great for cooking with, because they get sweeter as they cook. When picking out an onion, it should be firm and heavy for its size. The outer skin should be dry and papery. You also want to avoid any onions that are cut, bruised, or sprouting. For this recipe, if you want to use onion powder instead of fresh onion, start with 1 teaspoon and add more as needed. If you do go this route, be sure you're using onion powder and not onion salt. Salt contains the mineral sodium. The human body only requires a small amount of sodium, and generally people eat too much. Too much sodium over time can lead to high blood pressure and heart disease. It is important to eat and drink less sodium, saturated fat, and added sugars. For today's recipe, I'm using a beefsteak tomato. However, like onions, there are many types of tomatoes, such as cherry, Roma, and heirloom tomatoes. Tomatoes are available year-round, but are least expensive and taste the best when they are in season from July to September. They are full of vitamin C and antioxidants, which can help boost your immune system. The perfect tomato should have a bright color without any darkened areas or bruises. The tomato should give slightly when you press on the skin, but it shouldn't be too soft or too firm. You can also use canned diced tomatoes for this recipe. Remember, fresh, canned, and frozen vegetables are all healthy options. Just make sure to eat those veggies. If you do choose canned tomatoes, look for cans that say low sodium or no salt added. This will help reduce the amount of sodium in the recipe. Remember, too much sodium is not good for our hearts and can lead to high blood pressure and heart disease.
After watching today's video, you will have learned how to make this delicious side dish for your next meal. Before you get started, be sure to have these ingredients on hand. You'll need around 2 pounds of zucchini, a small onion, a tomato, some salt, pepper, and dried basil, You can also use fresh if you'd prefer, some olive oil or other vegetable oil, and a low-fat cheese. Today I'll be using Parmesan cheese, however you can use cheddar or even mozzarella. The recipe will take you around 45 minutes to make, and that includes prep time and cook time. Now that we know about our vegetables, let's get started. The first thing you want to do is to wash all of your produce. You just need some cold running water to do that. You don't need any extra soaps or detergents. And then be sure to wash your hands. You want to wash your hands with hot soapy water for at least 20 seconds. That's roughly singing happy birthday twice.
To slice a zucchini, first cut off both ends. If you have a longer zucchini, cut it in half to give yourself a smaller piece to work with. Next, cut the zucchini in half lengthwise so you have a flat surface to work on. You can leave the seeds in or take them out. Use the claw hand to slice a zucchini into a half moon shape. There are two ends on an onion, the root end and the stem end. To dice an onion, cut off the stem end. Place the flat part of the onion down and cut it in half. Peel the onion. Next, follow the lines on the onion. Cut all the way to the table, but not to the root end. Turn the onion and slice opposite of the cuts you just made. If preferred, chop the onion smaller. When cutting a tomato, a serrated knife is best at cutting through the skin. First, cut off the top of the tomato to create a flat surface. Cut the tomato into slices, and then turn those slices into strips. Turn the strips horizontally and dice. Now we're ready to start cooking. Start heating up your pan. You want to heat up the pan first, and then heat the oil, and then the veggies. This will help give the oil and the vegetables the best flavor, and help them cook more evenly. If you're using a skillet, turn your skillet on to about 300 degrees or medium heat on a stovetop. Test a piece of onion. If you hear it sizzle, you know the oil is hot enough. Add onions and cook until translucent or almost see-through. Today I'm using olive oil, but you can use any type of oil you have in your home. Using a small amount of oil is a healthier option than using butter or margarine. Any fat that is solid at room temperature has saturated fat, or unhealthy fat. We want to reduce the amount of saturated fat in our diet. You can do this by using a small amount of oil instead. Next, add the zucchini to the onions and cook for about 5 minutes. Now add the tomato and seasoning and cook for 5 more minutes. Too much salt or sodium is not good for our bodies. Using seasonings like herbs and spices is a great way to reduce the amount of sodium in your diet. Once your veggies are done, put the mixture into an 8x8 baking pan and sprinkle with cheese. I don't have an 8x8 pan, so I'm going to use my casserole dish instead. Today I'm using a low-fat Parmesan cheese. Whenever possible, choose low-fat or fat-free dairy products to help reduce the amount of saturated fat in your diet. Place into your preheated oven and bake for about 20 minutes.
This smells delicious. And now I have a great dish to go with my next meal. This recipe cost me $5.30 and has 10 servings. And it's a great way to help make my plate half fruits and vegetables. What could you pair this with? For more information, tips and tricks, and recipes, go to www.snapedny.org.
Thank you for joining us today. We know the healthy choice isn't always the easiest choice, but small changes can make a big difference. Start today by getting involved with SNAP Ed New York. This program is free for those who qualify or receive SNAP benefits. We want to help you save time, save money, and eat healthy. Learn how SNAP Ed can make a difference in your life. For more information and to find your local program, visit snapedny.org. This material is funded by USDA's Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. SNAP. This institution is an equal opportunity provider.